in here.
Oh, my goodness. A charged atmosphere. The Ranger faithful filling the stands on the far side, and the Rambler faithful have made the trip north, and they are packed on our side of the floor as well. We're behind the two benches here on the, let me orient myself, east side of the gym, if I'm not mistaken. The gym runs north and south. This is a brand new floor here in Manton as well. It's like the dark parquet style looking floor out there with the MHSAA logo inside the lane. They've got the Ranger mascot inside the three-point line. It is a beautiful, beautiful facility in here.
They worked really hard on this all summer. The only bad thing for Manton is because they worked hard on it all summer, they couldn't be in the gym all summer.
They'd have been in a different gym all summer.
I'm sure they did. Absolutely. I know Manton's always known for gym rats, which is a compliment to the kids that are always coming in, working hard. There's always about 4 or 5 of them in Manton, and it really shows. Manton's been playing some good ball over about the last 10 years.
Absolutely. And I'll tell you what, I think teams tend to take on the personality of their coaches. And when you talk about a gym rat, I don't know that there's a bigger one than Ryan Hiller, head coach of the Rangers, who has a banner on the wall, 2,184 career points as a Manton Ranger. So he is well known and beloved here in Manton, and he has had some great success with these Rangers, finally getting over the Rambler hump a couple years ago, making a deep run in the state playoffs, and you know they would love to do the same thing this year.
Yeah, now luckily Manton and McBain were not in the same district last year, so they really both could have made their runs to meet up later. McBain unfortunately lost in the district finals to Beale City, but Manton won the district last year, and honestly, for how successful Manton's been, that's only their second district win in the last 10 years. But you're right, they had the McBain hump for 3 of those at least.
It is shocking, but yes, that is absolutely true. And unfortunately, they're in the same district this year. We might as well talk about it. The girls will start next week. The draw was made earlier. They've got that seeding thing going on now with the MHSAA. And the draw for the boys came out, I want to say, late last week. And it's nearly identical, as the girls, McBain and Lake City, are going to meet in the second semifinal on Wednesday night next week. And the boys will have to face Lake City at Lake City on Wednesday night in the second game. Tonight is the first, Lars, of a 4-game set for these Ramblers that is just, would already be a difficult a set of games. You've got Manton, you've got Big Rapids at home, you've got Cadillac, and then you open the playoffs at Lake City against the team that just beat you in their house a couple of weeks ago.
Yes.
It would be difficult enough as it is. What makes it even more difficult is this Rambler team has had some difficulty over the last week or so.
They have had some difficulty. Hopefully that can be turned around. And if they're not ready for these next 4, it's going to be a long stretch. Now, we always joke at McBain whenever there's a snow day or no school or something, they don't play well. The Lake City game, I believe the NHS kids were coming back from Chicago.
7 of them were on that bus. Yes.
And you know what it's like to take a 2-hour trip on a bus. Try a 5-hour trip on a bus after you've had a good time in Chicago, playing around, seeing the museums and maybe a show. I know they went to a Bulls game.
Yeah.
So I'm sure they had a lot of fun. But that's hard on your legs to get up and get going.
I cannot even imagine. When I coached at NMC, we actually had a little short bus that only fit like 15, 16 kids. Yeah. But it was perfect for my varsity team, and we would take that, and that was so much smoother, so much nicer. The full bus with both teams, I would sit right behind the bus driver and lean way in behind him and look out the window and try to not throw up my lunch. It was just, I hated bus rides. Can't imagine doing that to Chicago, but a fantastic trip. You mentioned it, but yeah, that had to be tough, and it definitely looked as they just didn't have their legs. And now Monday night, they fall to a very good, very, very good Glen Lake team.
Yeah. But honorable mention.
The offense just looks a little out of sync, but they've got somebody back tonight that might help that a little bit.
Is Grayson back? What? This is news to me. What? Well, I'm down in the elementary, and I do lunch duty and recess duty. Nobody talks to me.
Well, I saw him out on the court warming up. Grayson Verberkmos, who broke his left hand, wrist, I'm not sure. Something on that left arm.
Up here.
Or maybe it was the right, actually. Yeah, it might have been his shooting hand. I think, the opening game against Beale City, and has missed the entirety of the season up to this point will be making his return in uniform for the first time tonight. And they couldn't ask for a better time to get him back, because he brings not only shooting but ball handling to help out Connor Murphy.
He's really developed as a guard, and he was kind of a taller kid in middle school where he played down as a big. And so as everybody else grew up around him, and I'm still sure he's going to grow some. Just look at his parents. They're huge, they're tall. But Grayson does bring that compliment, because Connor really hasn't had a chance to get rest. So toward the end of the game, and he's a cross-country runner. He's gone to the state meet. You know he's got the energy, but it's tough game after game after game.
Well, and the other thing we've seen is teams are purposely taking the ball out of his hands. I mean, he might as well be James Harden out there, because they're bringing two guys and they're forcing him to give it up because they want somebody else to handle the ball. And the other guys on the team have looked a little gun shy to do that, and they're looking to get it back to him quickly. And I think with another ball handler, that might help them a lot. I just want to remind folks, we're coming to you live from the Shepherd's Agency broadcast booth. And this is the Pluger Mechanical pregame show, licensed and insured for new installations, HVAC services, and light plumbing. Call Aaron or his brother Brad at 231-282-3194. That's 231-282-3194. Agency and Pluger Mechanical for their support of tonight's broadcast. Lars, I apologize. You had a point to make.
Yeah, I probably forgot it already. But no, in basketball, confidence is everything. And once you start stuttering or thinking, ooh, should I really take this shot or don't? Any hesitation, it ruins it. It ruins it whatsoever. And then the next time you get the ball, it's even worse. So you got to go out and play. You got to have that. Remember the Jared Lahr comment that you guys would always make? You like that.
He was the goldfish.
The short memory. He could have airballed a three-pointer. He didn't care. He was going to shoot the next one, no problem. And it paid off for him. I'll tell you what, early in the season for Manton, you know, we were talking about the great athletes that they have graduated out. This was supposed to be a down year for Manton. I call them overachievers right now, because they are playing wonderful basketball. Ryan Hiller's got them playing physical, tough, just grinded out basketball, and they are not afraid to shoot the three.
No, I would definitely say that 13-4 is not a down year. Both teams come into this contest at 13-4. The Ramblers, are 13-2 in conference play with just tonight's game remaining. The Rangers 12-2. They still have to make up a game with the Pine River Bucks, who, if the Rangers were to win tonight, could still play spoilers. So the Ramblers, even with a loss, could still share the conference title if the Rangers were to fall to the Bucks next week.
Now, let's go back to the Pine River-McBain game down at Pine River. McBain came out and just couldn't buy a bucket, and Pine River was very aggressive, very physical. McBain barely won that game. So Pine River is nothing to sneeze at this year. So you're right. That may be a saving grace. We hope this is a really good game. But you don't want to leave it in anybody else's hands. You want to go out and take care of business.
No, absolutely not. Head coach Bruce Copeman down on the floor was chatting with Ryan Hiller right in front of the score table. I know that Coach Hiller and Coach Copeman have a tremendous amount of respect for each other. Coach Hiller has talked about how much he has admired what Coach Copeman has done with the McBain program, something he wants to emulate, that they can be contending for the conference title and for district and regional titles year after year after year. The personnel may change, but the philosophy shouldn't, right?
Right.
And that's what he's trying to build here in Manton. We are about to get the national anthem here in Manton. Boys Highland Conference basketball action is coming your way on 107.9 CDY. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back right after this.
Ahoy there! Brad Johnson from Culver's here, inviting you in to try our delicious seafood menu. Featuring and backed by popular demand, it's our Northwoods Walleye, followed by North Atlantic Cod and Jumbo Shrimp. At Culver's, we hand batter each piece of walleye and deep fry it until it's crispy golden brown on the outside and light and flaky on the inside. Just one nibble and you'll be hooked on Culver's seafood. Fish on! It's the walleye for a limited time only at Culver's of Traverse City, Cadillac, and Gaylord, and welcome to Delicious.
Over the years, Cost Cutters has been keeping me in style for those moments in life where everything has to be perfect. Like when I gave my first speech running for class president, or when all eyes were on me walking down the aisle to marry my husband. And of course, when I sit down to interview for a promotion.
Cost Cutters. We were there then and we'll be there every step of the way. Perfect style at the perfect price. Just in time for that perfect moment.
Right now, all color services are 20% off at Cost Cutters with 2 locations in Cadillac and 1 in Big Rapids.
How do you get to a woman's heart? Your partner is one in a million. Show her with an extraordinary piece of jewelry that signifies how truly special she is. From Wexford Jewelers in Cadillac, a unique piece that tells her everything you wish you could express to her without saying a word. Wexford Jewelers offers distinct in-house made jewelry that she is sure to cherish. And their one-of-a-kind Cadillac-made pieces are worn all over the world. When she opens that box and you see her smile, you'll know you made the right choice because you chose forever. So how do you get to a woman's heart? Start your journey at Wexford Jewelers in Cadillac. Learn more at wexfordjewelers.com.
When it's late, when it's snowing, when you just have to have it. It's nice knowing McNally's Party Store in downtown McBain is open 7 days a week. Locally owned and operated with the friendliest cashiers helping to serve your grocery needs. From candy and chips to pop and munchies, McNally's Party Store, they're still keeping it cold. And wishing the McBain Ramblers good luck in tonight's game. That's McNally's Party Store in downtown McBain, open 7 days a week.
In the small town of McBain lies a locally owned family pharmacy that takes pride in helping improve the health of every patient that comes through the door. At McBain Family Pharmacy, you're more than just a prescription. Here, you're family, and their experienced team of professionals are always available to answer any questions you may have regarding prescription and over-the-counter medications. McBain Family Pharmacy is your full-service family pharmacy for both traditional and compound medications. Call them today at 231-825-8175. That's 231-825-8175. Or stop by their store, located at 119 North Roland Street in McBain.
Your one-stop farm supply store is Falmouth Co-op in the heart of agriculture country. With locations at Falmouth and McBain, Falmouth Co-op has what you need to keep all your animals well-fed and healthy. Plus, bulk fuel and professional agronomy services like custom fertilizers and spraying and soil and grid sampling. Falmouth Co-op is your premier grain dealer and birdseed headquarters. And the McBain location has pizza, burgers, wings, and appetizers. Stop in today at either location in Falmouth and McBain. Falmouth Co-op is proud to support McBain's student athletes.
And welcome back to Manton High School. Jay Simon alongside Lars Fredin. Abby Danforth turning the dials for us back in the studio, timing the end of the national anthem perfectly.
It's like you guys had that planned.
It's almost like we knew what we were doing.
Saw those meetings together and stuff, right?
It's all Abby. I can't take any credit for that whatsoever. Sorry, I was looking for the name of the young lady, and I should have written it down somewhere. I know it's Alexia, if I'm not mistaken, is her first name. I believe 16-year-old student here at Manton that passed away, unfortunately, unexpectedly, recently. The game tonight here in Manton, they were not taking gate receipts. They were instead accepting any donation from anybody coming into the game. And if you know these two communities, that's the beauty of the Highland Conference, Lars. The communities here in Manton and in McBain, they take care of their own, and they are generous when it comes to supporting neighboring communities. I think of Lake City and the head football coach there, his daughter, what she's going through and such. So just a fantastic job. And we're in for a treat here in Manton because right now it's time for the Northern Truck Services starting lineups. And I love what they do here in Manton, Lars. They've got the spotlight rotating around. They've darkened the gymnasium. This is the way high school starting lineups should be done.
Kind of brings me back to the early 90s when this was popular, and everybody's gone away from it. You know, I don't know if they thought it was
the MHSA doesn't allow it in the playoffs, but during the regular season, I would encourage this at every school, everywhere.
Look at the pros, NBA. They're trying to get the fans excited. There's nothing like this. This is awesome.
Home court. You're allowed to should be allowed to do what you want to do. I mean, within reason. You're not being rude to the visitors. You're just highlighting your team. That's all you're doing, right?
And honestly, these kids have worked hard all season, all off season too. If you're playing varsity ball, you know you don't put the ball away when the season's done.
The only negative is I can't read any of my notes. Do want to thank Shepherd's Agency. We're coming to you from the Shepherd's Agency broadcast booth. This has been the Pluger Mechanical pregame show, and you've got the Northern Truck Service starting lineups for us there, Lars.
Yeah, for the Manton Rangers, Caleb Moore is starting. He's a junior. Isaac Radin, a senior. Cole Reganeris, a senior. Jacob Hahn, a senior. And Lucas McCurran, a sophomore, starting for the Rangers. for McBain, they've kind of switched their starting lineup up the last couple games, looking for more of an offensive threat. Connor Murphy, a junior. Caden McGillis, a junior. George Brown, the lone senior that's starting. Daniel Rodenbaugh, a junior. And Mason Hooker, a junior.
After Burkmos went down, Tristan McElhinney was getting the start, and George Brown got it against Glen Lake, and he gets it again tonight. Tip is won by McGillis, and the Ramblers with the first possession here underway in Manton. Connor Murphy being harassed back by the volleyball line will give it up to McGillis. Ramblers in their road green uniforms with gold trim, going left to right across your radio dial right now, south to north if you want that orientation. George Brown out by the Ranger logo at midcourt.
And McBain has lost 2 games in a row. I'll let you take us.
That's all right. We got a steal. Oh, and the lefty layup. Caleb Moore leaves it short. Actually, a little too strong off the glass, but a nice little steal to the top of the key. And the Ramblers get it back. So still no score here early in the first quarter. Connor Murphy uses a Brown pick, fires the 3 ball, won't go, and the rebound corralled by the Rangers.
Yeah, so 2 in a row for losses, and then they had NMC that they beat. But when's the last time McBain's lost 2 in a row?
Caleb Moore with a nice little step through. Can't get the jumper to go. The floater is off the rim to the right. And goes out of bounds off of Moore. So Moore with 2 point-blank shots. Can't get him to go. That is not a home-friendly rim. They double-team Murphy, and they get a steal. Moore up ahead for Radin, and he'll convert the layup. And Manton quickly on the board. 2-0 with 6:45 to go here in the first. And you can see it already, Lars. They want to take the ball out of Murphy's hands.
3-quarter court trap. But once you beat that trap, you got an advantage.
McGillis gets the pass from Murphy, and it was a 3-on-1. Finds Brown on left. Defense. Jacob Hahn. Brown, of course, one of the bigger and stronger kids in the Highland Conference, still got the shot off, but couldn't get it to go. And he'll go to the line for a couple of freebies. George Brown, who I mentioned, I don't know if you heard it, Lars, in the Monday night's game, has a jumper that reminds me of Reggie Miller just from a style standpoint. He's got his elbows fly out to either side, but then he straightens it out, and it's not too bad. He goes 1 for 2 from the line here. 2-1. Manton with the lead, 6:25 to go in the first. I'm not saying he shoots like Reggie Miller from a skill standpoint, yeah, but stylistically. It's a nice little behind the back move by McKernan. Lefty layup, gets it and goes. McKernan, the sophomore, with a nice drive. And it's a 4-1 lead for the Rangers. Rodenbaugh cut off, finds McGillis top of the key. McGillis puts it on the floor, gets it stripped. And the ball taken away by Rigneris. Here come the Rangers going right to left in their home white uniforms. Here's a quick jumper by Hahn. Comes up short. And the rebound collected by Murphy. Yeah, Murphy up ahead for Rodenbaugh. Rodenbaugh cut off. And they'll swing it out to Murphy and let him reset it.
You're going to have to be quick with the ball because Manton's known for their reaching.
McGillis uses a nice pick. Fires the 3. Right side of the rim. Bounces to the left. Rodenbaugh saves it, but right to the Rangers. Rangers with numbers. Comes Hahn. He'll flip it back. Left wing 3 from Radin is off the front of the rim. Rebound, though, collected again by the Rangers. 5:20 to go here in the first. 4-1. Manton with the lead. Moore gets into the paint. Little floater comes up short, and the rebound collected by Rodenbaugh. Rodenbaugh brings it over the timeline. Flips it to McGillis. McGillis into the paint. Bounce pass Brown. Step back 3 is way too strong, but the weak side board collected by McGillis. McGillis now working against McKernan. Tough shot in the paint. Can't get it to go, but he'll draw the foul. And he'll go to the line for a couple of free throws.
And so we were talking earlier, you wanted me to keep a shot chart of the threes. We were predicting that there'd be a few threes. Between the 2 teams already, they've shot 5 of them.
And I have no threes in my scorebook, so they're 0 for 5 combined. That's easy math.
Different game that we are watching.
It is certainly different from when you played, I got to assume. You were post me, but you were still, you looked like a very young man, but I know you played a while back.
Bruce Copeman was my JV coach, and then when we did play, we didn't call it white, but we sure ran white.
Caden McGillis drains them both. It's a 4-3 Manton lead. 4:50 remaining here in the opening quarter. Here's Radin. Flips it back near side. Hahn into the corner for Rigneris. Rigneris drives baseline, elevates. McGillis cut him off. Nicely defended by Brown. Loose ball picked up by Radin. Radin trying to fight his way inside, and we're going to get a jump ball as McGillis got his hand on top of that ball. Radin was trying to draw the foul by throwing the arms up, which is the smart thing to do. But the official right on top of it calls the jump ball. Possession arrow belongs to Manton.
Definitely a physical game out there.
Hahn will trigger under his own basket. Finds Moore on the right wing. Defended by, blow by Murphy. Jumper goes. Wow. Caleb Moore in a blink of an eye got by Connor Murphy. Now there's a steal on the other end. Radin with the lefty layup gets it to go. And now Coach Copeman wants to talk it over. He's going to call a quick 30-second timeout. We'll keep it right here. 8-3. The Rangers with the lead, 4:20 to go here in the opening quarter. And boy, that pressure defense between Moore and Radin, they get up in your grill back there. Not only do they know just which Axe body spray you put on this morning,
what flavor gun you're doing.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, and honestly, it's not that they're doing amazing defense, just poor choices on some passes there. Some McBain players are not coming to the ball. They're not communicating very well. And we were talking about confidence earlier. Other people have to step up.
Absolutely. There is no question about that. I did mention that I saw Grayson Verberkmos warming up. He is on the bench. He has nothing on that arm, on that wrist. He is dressed. He did not start, obviously, and we'll have to see how many minutes he gets tonight. I got to imagine that his game wind is not quite there as Connor Murphy gets cut off. Double team finds Rodenbaugh. The Rangers do a great job of getting back and finding their man. Rodenbaugh driving baseline, flings it out to Caden McGillis. McGillis pump fake, gets into the lane, elevates, can't finish, and the rebound pulled down by Rigneris. Here come the Rangers quickly. Radin up the right wing, top side Rigneris. Pump fake, tries to go by George Brown, who cuts him off. Brown, nice challenge on that jumper. Comes up short, McGillis collects the rebound. McGillis over the timeline. McGillis past the defense, lays it up and in.
That's the aggressiveness that you're talking about. Don't just try to get rewarded for getting across half court. Attack it.
And I'll tell you, Gary and I wondered all year why Caden McGillis does not just drive and elevate over everybody. There's nobody on that floor that can get up with him. Maybe George Brown would be about the only other player. And we're going to get a foul call as Caleb Moore taking it to the rim on the right side. Draws the body contact, and he's going to get a shot at a couple of free throws. Mason Hooker draws the Ramblers' first foul of the night.
In the NBA, they talk about the principle of verticality. Now, Mason was there, but he jumped in the air, and that's when he got run into. And I think because he left his feet, that's why it was the blocking call instead of a charge.
In the NBA, technically speaking, that wouldn't be because of the verticality rule you just talked about. I have no idea if that rule is different in high school. As Moore goes 1 of 2, and they're going to call this off of George Brown. George Brown battling with Jacob Rupert for that foul, for that ball. I will say this, as I say every time, Lars, because it's time for that statement. There are the two hardest jobs in the world are mothering and officiating, and I want nothing to do with either one. This is a fantastic crew tonight. Familiar faces out there. As the runner by Moore is too strong, George Brown forcing that miss. Brown the other way. Finds Rodenbaugh on the left wing. Rodenbaugh spinning into the lane. Layup is good.
What a beautiful move by Daniel. Took him into the lane and then reverse spin. Doing a nice layup.
9-7. Manton with the lead. 3:05 remaining here in the first quarter. Caleb Moore gets around George Brown. Finds Hahn top of the key. Checked by Rodenbaugh. Hahn dribbles left. Now he'll bring it back to his right. To Rupert. Rupert hands it back to Hahn. Hahn driving, and they're going to get a foul on Rodenbaugh. It's a very easy call. Even I could have made that. Rodenbaugh using his right arm to try and slow Hahn down. That's an easy hand check call. And now we're going to get Grayson Verberkmos for the first time since that opening night. Gets a nice hand from the Rambler faithful. He will check in.
Now you say there's no protective gear on him, but he does have a plate with at least 6 screws in it.
Yeah, that's
probably more.
Probably pretty tough. It's a nice drive. Jacob Rupert on the inbound lays it up over the rim. 11-7. Manton with the lead now. 2:40 remaining here in the first. Connor Murphy uses a Rodenbaugh pick, flips it to Mason Hooker, curling. Hooker picks up his dribble, now harassed by Lucas McKernan. Back to Murphy. Mason Hooker with the three. We're going to get a foul down low. I think Grayson Verberkmos battling for position got grabbed, and they're going to call the foul.
You know, Mason Hooker's actually benefited from Connor Murphy having such a good year last year. He's quite a threat at the three-point line.
They called the foul on Rupert. So third team foul on the Rangers as Murphy gets it into Hooker. Hooker over to Verberkmos, working against Regnerus. Back to Murphy near side as the Ramblers go left to right. Here's McGillis, pump fake, drives into the lane, elevates, and we're going to get a blocking foul to the hoop and the harm. What a play. McKernan tried to slide in to draw the charge, but I think he got under him as McGillis was already in the air, and that's a no-no. And the blocking foul on McKernan will send McGillis to the line for a three-point opportunity.
It's all a timing issue with those judgment calls from the ref.
McGillis converts, and the Rangers know that that's what McGillis wants to do. And so it's exactly what you would expect him to do to try and draw charges, but McGillis got in the air a little quicker. McGillis now with 7 of the Rambler 10 points. It's an 11-10 Manton lead as we get some more substitutions. We got Moore, Radin, Hahn, Rupert, Regnerus on the floor for the Rangers. McGillis, Rodenbaugh, Verberkmos, Brown, and Murphy on the floor for McBain as Hahn uses a pick, curling on Rodenbaugh, tries to go behind his back, loses the handle. Grayson Verberkmos picks up the loose ball. Verberkmos into the paint, and we're going to get a charge as he tried to slice his way around. I think it was Radin.
Now, I'm not saying anything about the charge, but when I see him fall to the ground,
yeah, that's
I'm thinking,
exactly.
I hope his arm is okay. He looks like no problems with the arm.
Hopefully he's instinctually putting that left down, or somebody's taught him how to fall properly.
Now the steal was cool because his bionic arm was able to get in there.
Yes, bionic arm. 11-10 Manton. Minute 35 to go here in the first. Caleb Moore trying to get around Murphy. Loses the handle. Radin picks it up. Radin into the paint. Floater over. Rodenbaugh is good. Radin with 6 points. It's a 13-10 Manton lead. Murphy tries to get by Moore. Gets it over the timeline. Back at the volleyball line. Murphy still working against Moore. Picks up his dribble, looking for some help. Nearly got it picked by Radin. Finds Verberkmos. Verberkmos drives baseline. Tough jumper, won't go. Gets his own rebound. And now we're going to get a jump ball. As Hahn was able to get in there and get his hands on it. Possession arrow is going to give it back to McBain. Minute 4 to go here in the first. Connor Murphy's going to take a seat. Tristan McElhinney will check in. And now we'll see if McElhinney or Verberkmos run the point. McGillis will trigger for McBain. Under his own basket, surveying, looking for some help. And we're going to get a 5-second call as the Ramblers a little too much standing around, and the Rangers with a great defensive stop will get the ball back with a 3-point lead. Minute remaining now here in the opening quarter. Moore over the timeline. McGillis shows. McElhinney catches up. Radin, top of the key, drives, kicks out to Moore. Moore will curl, step back top of the key, finds Hahn. Hahn right-handed dribble into the lane, cut off by McGillis. Little short jumper, no good. The rebound, though, collected by the Rangers. Kick out to Radin for 3. Back iron, no good. Saved again by Regnerus, who throws it into his back court. And McElhinney will collect it. McElhinney, tough shot, can't get it to go. Hahn with the rebound. I'm a little confused.
What in the world do they figure?
Why was that not a backcourt violation? If the shot went off the rim, Regnerus grabbed it and
control to throw it, so there was control. A lot of times they're doing this, didn't have control thing.
But the last possession, on a shot, I don't even know how that works.
Then to touch it and then to just leave it for McBain to take.
Yeah, well, he was expecting the backcourt call. Yeah, the Rangers touched the ball in the backcourt. That's why McElhinney was able to pick it up, because they thought the backcourt violation was going to get called. Anyway, crazy sequence leads to nothing, and Rangers get the ball back. 20 seconds remaining. Yes, I apologize. You're right. There was a foul on McElhinney after the miss. 4th on the Ramblers. Rangers with 4 as well. Rangers looking for the last shot. 10 seconds remaining. Regnerus picks it up, finds Radin. Radin drives baseline, cut off nicely by Brown. 4 seconds. Moore will throw up a prayer, no good, and Rodenbaugh heaves one full court into the wall. Moore was looking for some contact as he went to the rim and didn't get the call. And that's going to end the opening quarter.
What would you rather have them do? I know you want to go commercial right now. Would you rather have the refs call a tight game or let them play like they're doing? Then they try to tighten up toward the end of the game, and the kids are like, wait, you haven't called this all game. What's going on?
I was just going to say, because usually what happens if you let them play a little freely early, it usually devolves into some craziness, and then you have trouble getting everybody to come back, right? And then kids get frustrated because it's like, well, that wasn't a foul in the first quarter. Why is it a foul now, right?
Exactly.
Abby Danforth is turning the dials for us back in the studio. She's very confused because I'm not going to break now. Instead, I'm going to let you know this broadcast brought to you in part by the fine folks at the Falmouth Co-op, McBain Rural Agricultural Schools, Wexford Missaukee Career Tech Centers, and LC Materials. Our thanks to all of our broadcast partners. Could not do this without them. If you get a chance to visit any of them, we encourage you to please do so. Let them know you were listening and thank them for their support of McBain and Northern Michigan Christian Athletics here on 107.9 CDY.
Well, so far it's been everything we thought it would be. You know, as far as a close score, close fouls, it's a really exciting game so far.
It really has been. Rangers with the ball to start the second quarter. They have a 13-10 lead as Radin blows by his defender, and then Brown rejects him from behind. Radin, though, scoops up the loose ball. Here's Hahn with the floater in the lane, gets it to go.
Hahn does a nice job of that first step to get into the lane, and that's such a nice floater.
He stopped on a dime. There's a beautiful pass and a block underneath. Rodenbaugh, though, continues to battle and gets it back.
Nice.
McGillis found Rodenbaugh on the block. I believe it was Jacob Rupert that got the block. But Rodenbaugh gets it right back. Here's Hahn for three, way off the mark, but Rupert in the right spot. Rebound batted around. Moore comes up with it.
Boy, they are just going hard.
Offensive rebound has been insane for the Rangers. Caleb Moore gets around McElhinney, gets into the paint, tries a little lefty floater, won't go. McGillis with the rebound. 15-12. Rangers with the lead.
Kind of a case of hot potato there. Nobody really wanted to be the point guard.
Berkmos brings it over the timeline now, being checked by Rigneris. Gets it to McGillis on the right wing. McElhinney didn't think he was open. The pass didn't come. Gets it back. Berkmos underneath. Tough shot. Won't go. And I believe that's going to go off the Rangers. It will. And the Ramblers will get another opportunity as Berkmos goes to the bench. Cheeks are flushed. Let's just put it that way. Don't blame him.
Well, he's a cross-country runner. He's got energy.
He's also a teenager. Murphy will trigger, trying to find somebody, and he gets it to McGillis. McGillis trying to go into the lane, and they're going to call him for the travel. Picked up the pivot foot before he put the ball down. And the ball will go back to the Rangers.
Yeah, veteran coach or reffing crew here. Everybody knows what they're doing.
Yeah, this is definitely, in my opinion, one of the better crews as far as knowledge of the game and ability to keep the game under control goes. It's a pass inside for Rupert. Kick out Hahn into the corner. Caleb Moore open for three. Front iron no good. And the rebound pulled down by Rupert. Another second chance as Hahn gets it. Drives into the lane. Kick out for Rigneris on the left wing. 6 minutes to go here in the second quarter. Rigneris being hounded by Rodenbaugh will hand it off to Radin. Radin working against Murphy. 4 white jerseys in the far corner. Now they swing out and start calling out a play. Radin gets it to Moore against McElhinney. McElhinney shading his right side, trying to get him to go left. He wants to go right. Uses a pick. Finds Radin in the corner. Radin goes baseline. Finds a cutting Rupert to the 10 who lays it up and in. What a look.
Yeah, the whole play designed to get some pass and cuts in there to get by the defense.
On the other end, Murphy drives into the lane. High lefty floater will not go. And the Rangers with the rebound. Here's Caleb Moore. 5:20 to go in the second quarter. Rangers with a 5-point lead, biggest of the game. And now we're going to get a timeout as Coach Ryan Hiller wants to talk things over. It's going to be a 30-second timeout, so we will keep it here. Abby's wondering now, why do you even need me? What's going on? I swear we'll take breaks, Abby. I promise you.
So Matten's really doing a nice job of attacking it. It looks like McBain's got the rebound, no problem. All of a sudden, Matten comes out of nowhere, tips it away, and they're just out hustling McBain right now.
They absolutely are. I want to remind you, if you are leaving our listening area, never fear. You can still listen to the dulcet tones of Lars Fredin by heading over to 107.9Wcdy.com. Click the game logo. It'll take you to YouTube, and you can listen to us anywhere you've got a decent internet connection. You can also just go to YouTube, search for 107.9 CDY Sports. Live streaming brought to you by the fine folks at McLean Transmissions. For anything transmission related and for quality used cars, call 231-779-1394. That's 779-1394. McLean Transmissions on La Chance Road. Out of the timeout, Rangers with the ball as Isaac Raiden gets all the way around Murphy, and the lefty layup is good for a right-hander. That is the third left-handed layup that Isaac Raiden has made. And he is just getting to the tin at will tonight. He's got 8. Here's McGillis on the other end, getting to the rim and can't finish. And we're going to get a foul on Rupert. That's going to be his second. And it is the 5th on the Rangers.
So he was kind of complaining that call a little bit, but when you have a game where there's so much contact and it's not called, and then it finally is, you're kind of confused on what's going on.
I thought he pretty clearly got him on the arm on the shot attempt. I didn't think that was questionable. Caden McGillis back irons the first free throw to 19-12 Manton lead. It's the biggest of the game for either team. Actually, the Ramblers have never led in this game. As McGillis goes 1 of 2 from the line. 19-13, inside 5 minutes to go here in the first half. Game's flown by as Raiden brings it over half court. Guarded by Murphy. Isaac Raiden between the legs. Swung over on the left wing for Hahn. Hahn will travel top side. Now swings it to Drayden Morrow. Playing with those sweet goggles.
The Kurt Rhombus goggles.
Yes. Morrow gives it to Ragnaris. Ragnaris takes the top of the key. Turns on Rodenbaugh. Gets to the rim. Tough layup. Won't go. McElhinney collects the rebound. 4:20 to go here in the first half. McElhinney over the timeline. Boy, I would have definitely shot from there. McGillis gets into the paint. Spinning, looking for help. Gets it to Murphy. I dribble up within 3 feet of the three-point line, and you don't come out on me, I am putting that up every single time. Rodenbaugh trying to drive, loses the handle. Might have got poked out of his hands from behind, but it goes off of Rupert, and it'll be McBain basketball. In case I ever come to McBain and play in one of those morning games you guys have, you'll know this now.
Yes. So Jacob Rupert's really doing a nice job physically of rebounding.
And now we're going to get an offensive foul away from the ball. This is going to be called on Rodenbaugh. Rodenbaugh is going to pick up his second foul. It's the 5th on the Ramblers.
You know,
McBain gets caught with that occasionally.
Well, most of our offense is pick and roll and setting screens to get people open, and that's what tires other teams down. First 2 quarters. The third quarter is really the go-ahead quarter for McBain. It hasn't happened recently. But right now, it is, you're fighting through those screens, you're going to get tired out. But if we're getting called offensive fouls on those, you think twice about running them.
Yep. Just a little too much shifting of the hips, if you will. And it's an easy call. As a matter of fact, it's an advanced optometry good call by the officiating crew. And it's not hard when you're kind of sliding the hip into your defender. But I'll let you know our next broadcast here on 107.9 CDY will be Tuesday night as the McBain Ramblers play host to the Big Rapids Cardinals in a non-conference contest. Tough week for McBain next week. They get Big Rapids, they get Cadillac, and then they have to go to Lake City. They will get some time off, though. They don't have to play until the following Wednesday night. And I believe, Lars, you and Gary will have that call, district semifinal action on that Wednesday.
Sounds fun.
19-13 Rangers with the lead inside 4 minutes to go as Moore gets by Murphy. Cut off nicely, though, by Mason Hooker. Flips it out to Hahn, now gets it back. Again, Moore gets into the paint. Out to Ragnaris at the top of the key. Ragnaris driving, trying to find it back to Moore, and Connor Murphy steps in the way, says thank you very much.
That was almost a Christmas gift there.
It sure was. Murphy gets it to McElhinney. McElhinney trying to drive to the 10, looking for a bounce pass to Rodenbaugh. As Hahn did a nice job of cutting him off. McElhinney, a nice choice to not elevate and commit the offensive foul, but the ball tapped away from Rodenbaugh out of bounds. It'll be McBain under their basket.
There's a lesser of two evils. Do you go in and get a charge, or it seems like all our passes are getting knocked away? Do you just be aggressive and take it?
Daniel Rodenbaugh with an open look top of the key, misses everything. McGillis, though, with the rebound, and we're going to get a foul on Radin as he used the arm to prevent McGillis from getting up. Caden McGillis is really been very aggressive in tonight's game, and I like it.
And he has been all season. And honestly, when we have the losses, some of it, I don't want to put it on his shoulders or anything, but when Caden doesn't play well, it doesn't go well for McBain.
He is a tremendous athlete, and he has been living at the line tonight. This is his 4th trip to the free throw line. He had the 3-point play in the first half. And as he converts that, he is now 6 of 7 from the line, 19 to 15. Caden McGillis, basically a one-man show, keeping the Ramblers within shouting distance. 10 of the Ramblers' 15 points tonight. But it has been a low-scoring game, as these tend to be between these two teams.
Yeah. Do you have any threes on your shot chart?
I have none.
And they've shot a lot of them.
Moore trying to get around Murphy. Frankly, they have missed badly. I'll bet you they've got as many that didn't even touch rim between these two teams as they have balls that missed off the rim. Boy, and Verberkmos is going to get a foul call. That's a tough one. Grayson, hands in the air, just trying to move his feet. And they're going to say they got him with the body. You could argue that Hahn caused that contact, if you will, but you could also argue that Verberkmos was putting his hips into him. It's the 2nd on Verberkmos. 6th on the Ramblers. Rangers was 6 as well. Next foul put either team into the bonus. As Hahn in the corner, Verberkmos wants to give him the baseline where he knows there's help. Pass top side for Radin. Radin drives to the left elbow, kick out from Moore. 2:40 remaining here in the first half. Moore gets around Murphy, cut off, trying to find his help. Ball tapped by the Ramblers. Hahn comes up with it. Hahn gets into the paint. Hahn with a little jump stop, and the layup is good. Jacob Hahn with another nice little move in the paint. There's McGillis, pump fake, goes to the rim, lays it up and in, the hoop and the harm. Again, the Ramblers, Hahn trying to get underneath Caden McGillis, but he just elevates around him, lays it up and in. I almost thought he was going to try and throw that down.
Yeah.
He is an impressive 1-foot jumper.
That I think Hahn just shifted a little bit to the right, maybe a little bit too far under the hoop, too. But it's a judgment call. I mean, you could see the same thing at the other end, and all of a sudden, basket went in.
The basket did go in. I'm seeing what the discussion is now. There's a blocking call called. Oh, my goodness gracious. They are waving off the basket.
Now the scores.
Which makes absolutely no sense because
he was in the air when he got fouled.
Well, right, unless you're saying that it was before he elevated, and I don't understand how it could be before he elevated. That makes no sense.
Now the score book is,
if you call it afterward, then the shot should count, unless it was an offensive.
If none of them saw it, you could go to the score book. They are actually an official.
And ask them what they saw. Nope. They are saying the basket is good. Yeah. The basket is good. So Caden McGillis will go to the line for a 3-point opportunity. And that's what you like to see. That's an advanced optometry good call. Yes.
The most important thing is get the call right. Whether it's for you or against you, make sure it's right.
And the officials twice getting together came over, as you mentioned, to that technically 4th official sitting at the bench at the scorebook. And keep in mind, that's a Manton Ranger fan, if you will. It's a Manton Ranger, official or parent or something down there.
But there's also a checks and balance down there because the visiting book can help.
Sure. 21-18 as McGillis converts the 3-point play. Radin cut off, swings it out to Moore. McKernan driving and cut off. The Rambler defense looks like it's stepped up a little bit here. Hahn drives baseline, cut off again nicely. Radin again cut off by Brown, looking for some help. Cutting between the two, and he's going to get the foul. really a great move by Radin because he split the defense. They reach out with the arms. He draws the contact, and he's going to go to the line now for a 1-and-1. I assume it's not 2. No, they're saying it is 2. He was trying to shoot.
Here's what I like about the Manton players is every time they drive in, they are a threat. They're not just driving in and holding it and looking for a pass. They're faking the shot. They're faking this way. They're turning the other way. Every time you think they're the biggest threat in the world, and that really helps open up other players.
Radin back irons the first. Minute 52 remaining here in the first half. It's a 21-18 Ranger lead. Manton has led by as many as 7. Radin trying to get that lead back to 4.
So Manton's gone at least 9 deep. McBain's about 7 deep.
And the second grabs all kinds of rim and finally falls. Isaac Radin goes 1 of 2. Connor Murphy brings it over the timeline, working against Moore. Spins away from him. Will hand it off to McGillis out at the volleyball line. Gets it to Brown on the far side above the key. Brown near side for Murphy had a double pick, but they couldn't hold it for him. Murphy now will get into the paint against Moore. Tries the left-handed layup, and we're going to get a foul call. As Murphy
spinning about 2
pulled that one right out of the Ranger.
3/4 seconds in there.
Pulled that one out of the Ranger playbook there. Yeah, he cut off nicely by Moore, but Murphy just kept working the pivot foot. And as you said, yeah, probably about 2 3/4 seconds in the lane.
Now, I have heard, I don't know if it's in the rule book or not, but the 3 seconds, if you're just standing there, it's a 3 seconds. But if you're making an active attempt to the hoop,
it's like 4.
It kind of slows down the count.
I have no idea. I think that's definitely not officially in the rule book. And maybe at best an unofficial, unwritten rule.
You know, they don't want Shaq camping down in the lane for 10 seconds.
Connor Murphy drains them both, and the Ranger lead is down to 2, 22-20, minute 28 remaining here in the first half. Caleb Moore uses the pick, cuts around. Ramblers have been doing it with Moore as the man on the picker is showing and making sure that the ball handler cannot drive to the basket. There's Brown with the takeaway. And Brown cannot collect that one, sliding on his back out of bounds.
I would say safe.
Yeah, great defensive play, though, by Brown. But that's what the Ramblers are doing right now, Lars. They are showing, and it's really helping them out because it's preventing Moore and Radin from getting into the paint.
Now, I'm surprised there's not towels out on their side.
Yeah, that has to be pretty
sloppy. He went about 20 feet there.
Here's Moore into the paint, floater over Brown, too strong. Rebound, though, comes right back to Moore. Moore on the right wing, cut off nicely. Hahn now, chased by Rodenbaugh. Boy, oh boy. It's probably the right call, but I can understand Rodenbaugh's frustration. He's just trying to stay with Hahn, and Hahn kind of put that arm up and tried to create some space, which is the right thing that Hahn should be doing too. And it's one of those things, both players are doing the right thing and playing hard, and it's just a matter of what did the officials see, right?
And after a while,
what are you going to do?
Refs get kind of bored when there aren't calls. They're looking for something to call.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are. They're looking for something. They're like, I'm getting paid for this. I need to earn my money.
That is 100% not true. Hahn with the 1-and-1 drains the first. Jacob Hahn has got a very nice looking free throw. 53.8 seconds remaining here in the first half, as Hahn misses the second, and the rebound went off the top of the backboard edge. McGillis mistimed it because of that, but he did collect it. And Verberkmos, who's checked back into the game, will bring it over half court. Verberkmos over to Murphy on the left side. Ramblers going left to right. Murphy tries to go by Moore, who cuts him off. Now he'll bring it back to the top of the key. Murphy with the crossover over to McElhinney, far side. McElhinney brings it topside for McGillis. Pump fake on Radin, who doesn't bite. Now gets it to Murphy near side. 24 seconds remaining. Topside for Grayson Verberkmos, checked by Hahn. Hahn taps it away from him. Verberkmos collects it. 15 seconds remaining. Verberkmos calls for Murphy. Murphy hands it to McGillis. McGillis had a steam, gets inside his man and lays it up and in.
What a great hesitation. It looked like he was going to pass it out to the wing and took it all the way in.
Moore quickly the other way. Regnerus at the buzzer, no good.
Wow, what a game.
And that's going to do it for the first half of play here in Manton. 23-22, the Rangers with the slimmest of leads. We will take a moment to collect our stats our thoughts and let Abby earn her money by running a few spots. We'll be back with the McBain Hardware Halftime Show coming your way right after this.
Making the final arrangements for a loved one is never easy. At Burkholder Family Funeral Home in McBain, they can help you get through the process one step at a time. Serving the families in McBain and the surrounding communities for over 40 years, they take pride in providing exceptional services that families can actually afford. The caring and compassionate staff at Burkholder Family Funeral Home can help ease the burden. Burkholder Family Funeral Home. Visit them today at 211 North Pine Street in McBain or call 231-825-8191.
McBain Rural Agricultural Schools is looking for the next generation of Ramblers. If you want to give your child the gift of a great education, make McBain Rural Agricultural Schools your school of choice. Every McBain Rambler gets a MacBook or iPad, a strong curriculum, including a variety of vocational programs, great athletics, and access to a brand new state-of-the-art performing arts center. Because great performances shouldn't be limited to the football field and basketball court. School of Choice is now open, which means a huge decision for your family is upon you. If you want a school that will challenge your child, support your child, and celebrate your child's individuality, make sure McBain is on your short list. It's never too late to change schools, and McBain is accepting students K through 12th grade. For more information, visit mcbain.org or call the superintendent's office at 231-825-2165. That's 231-825-2165. 231-825-2165.
Providing great service and quality to our customers, LC Materials is here for you and all your concrete and aggregate needs, both residential and commercial projects. We can assist you in estimates, sand and gravel needs, project details, and on-time delivery. LC Materials is also in Cadillac at the Concrete Store. The Concrete Store has building supplies, stone, block, tools, and other accessories to help you finish your project. So when you're ready, call LC Materials. We're ready when you are, online at lcmaterials.net. High school students are training for the jobs of tomorrow today at the Wexford-Missaukee Career Technical Center in Cadillac. Juniors and seniors from 12 area high schools can choose from 14 career-driven programs. Free college credit is available. Visit WMISD.org and click or tap the Career Technical Education link. See all the great programs, then talk to your student's counselor. Call 876-2200. The Wexford-Missaukee Career Technical Center on 13th Street across from Baker College. Proud to serve the students of McBain High School. CTC is the place to be.
We've all been there. We rely on our vehicles more than ever to get us where we need to go, safe and sound. McBain Auto Service is open Monday through Friday and are fully licensed and insured to serve you. With over 50 years combined experience, they specialize in everything from brakes to engine repair with no job too big or small. Stop in for a safety inspection. McBain Auto Service, located at 9438 South Maury Road in McBain, or call 231-825-2729.
Your one-stop farm supply store is Falmouth Co-op in the heart of agriculture country, with locations at Falmouth and McBain. Falmouth Co-op has what you need to keep all your animals well-fed and healthy, plus bulk fuel and professional agronomy services like custom fertilizers and spraying and soil and grid sampling. Falmouth Co-op is your premier grain dealer and birdseed headquarters, and the McBain location has pizza, burgers, wings, and appetizers. Stop in today at either location in Falmouth and McBain. Falmouth Co-op is proud to support McBain's student athletes.
And welcome back to Manton High School. Jay Simon alongside Lars Fredin, Abby Danforth, turning the dials for us back in the studio. Well, as befitting a game between the two teams that sit atop the Highland Conference, we've got a great one here in Manton. 23-22, the Rangers lead the Ramblers here at the McBain Hardware halftime. And Lars, you talked about how it was going to get hot in here. I feel like I got one too many layers on right now, man.
Yeah, you have to dress in layers this time, and I didn't either. And I'll tell you what, this is exactly what you wanted to see. You didn't want to see a blowout either way. You want to make it's just exciting, man. If you can't be excited about this game, then you're not living, right? Wow.
Check your pulse if that's the case. Hey, I want to let you know tonight's broadcast brought to you by Don's Auto Clinic and High Point Cadillac GMC, McBain Auto Service, Burkholder Family Funeral Home, McNally's Party Store, and McBain Family Pharmacy. You are listening to, always forget how to say that. How am I saying? WCDY, McBain Cadillac, Lake City. That's a terrible top of the hour call there, but I did get it in. Our sincere thanks to all of our broadcast partners here on 107.9 CDY. Thrilled to be able to bring this to you, and they allow us to do that. So we are grateful to each and every one of them. And Lars, the Rangers had a 7-point lead in that second quarter, but the Ramblers, largely thanks to the aggressive play of Caden McGillis, scrapped their way back into it. We got a 1-point game.
Yeah, he did a good job of faking a 3-point shot, putting the ball down, and a lot of times he'd have a spin move to get to the hoop. But he has a big first step that is hard to guard against. But, man, Matten's on the other end, faking which way to go. When I play ball against that, I keep my feet still and I watch him go by because there's about nothing you can do. I give McBain credit for even trying.
Well, and one of the other things about McGillis, so many kids need to go off 2 feet to really elevate. McGillis is a 1-foot jumper. He's an excellent high jumper. And he's a 1-foot jumper. So when he takes that long stride by you, he's not only getting by you, he's going above you, and that makes it very difficult to contest his shots.
He's had a few dunks this year.
I've got a call ready for him. I've got a call ready for him.
Just waiting for it. It's too bad he doesn't tell you when he's going to do it. So you
right, right. He does it in games I'm not broadcasting. That's really kind of mean.
Hey, I want to do a shout out. The girls basketball season just finished up for the JV, and the JV girls have gone 20-0 this year. They played a tough Cadillac team, a tough Big Rapids team. NMC gave them a good battle there. Lake City gave them a good battle, and they came out on top. And there's 13 players on that team, my daughter being one of them. It was fun to watch. But there was a lot of games. There were they scored 70 points. They were 50-point games. A lot of running clocks. So the game just flew by. But also another part of that, the freshmen on that team, they've gone undefeated in 7th grade and 8th grade. So technically they're 44-0 in their McBain career.
Wow. Is it the Ferdine blood? Is that what it is?
No, there's a lot of college athletes for parents of those kids. That's what it is.
23-22, the Rangers lead here at the McBain Hardware halftime show. Run down the scoring from that first half for you. For the Rangers, they were paced by Isaac Radin, who had a team-high 9 points in that first half. And 6 of those on beautiful left-handed layups. Jacob Hahn had 5 points. Jacob Rupert with 4. Caleb Moore has 3. And Lucas McKernan with another bucket to round out the scoring for the Rangers, who are 3 of 6 from the charity stripe. Meanwhile, the Ramblers, well, it's Caden McGillis. He has 15 of the Ramblers' 22 points to lead all scorers. He is a very impressive 7 of 8 from the free throw line. And he has been aggressive in going to the rim. Meanwhile, Daniel Rodenbaugh has 4 points. Connor Murphy made a couple of free throws, and George Brown the third, 1 of 2 from the line to round out the scoring for McBain. They are 10 of 12, Lars, from the free throw line. Something that has been a bit of a bugaboo for them sometimes. They're looking pretty good from the charity stripe tonight.
The old saying of free throws win ball games, and at least keeps you in some ball games. So that's going to be important. You're right. There's a lot of probably state championship teams out there that never made it past districts because they can't make their free throws.
Teams are back out on the floor. Got about a minute and a half left remaining here in halftime. Again, want to remind you, if you leave our listening area, never fear, you can still catch all of the Friedenisms that come from Lars.
Whoa. We call them Larsism.
I don't know. Yeah, okay, I can go with Larsism.
Yeah. Most people call them dad jokes.
How do your dad jokes go over in elementary school? Hey, don't answer that just yet. Head on over to 107.9cdy.com. Click the game logo. It'll take you to YouTube. If you've got a decent internet connection, you can listen to us anywhere in the world, and people have. It's amazing technology, right? Ask your kids if you don't know how it works.
Yes.
And we want to thank McLean Transmissions for their support of live streaming here on 107.9 CDY. So, dad jokes, do they go over well in elementary school?
I get a lot of blank stares. Let's just say that.
A lot of blank stares?
Yeah, kids don't get them.
Well, yeah, I guess.
Why are you staring at me blankly?
4th grade? 4th grade? Is that
4th grade, yeah.
Okay. This has been the McBain Hardware halftime show. Make sure you talk to Ron or Tyler As Gary's brother-in-law will tell you, if the McBain hardware doesn't have it, you don't need it. Rangers get a steal off the opening possession by the Ramblers to start the second half. Quickly the other way, Isaac Raiden with the short jumper, no good. Rodenbaugh skying for the rebound. Just underway here in the second half.
You know, another example of the McBain not coming to the ball when the ball is passed.
Connor Murphy brings it over half court, over to McGillis on the left wing. McGillis topside, George Brown. Regnerus not too worried about him from three. Connor Murphy, though, probably needs to be paid attention to. And there is the first three-pointer of the game by either team. They are now 1 for what?
6.
Are the Ramblers. That can't be both teams.
Nope, 1 for 6 for the McBain and 0 for 5 for the Rangers.
Yeah, there you go.
And now the thing is, the key to stopping McBain is to try to press and get Connor out of his comfort zone.
25-23, McBain with their first lead of the game as we get the second half started. Regnerus gets inside Brown. And George Brown III will commit the foul. I believe they'll get it on Brown.
Now, that was the case. Everybody's playing tight defense on their man where they turn their back to the ball. And McBain invites you to the baseline to try to trap you on.
And George Brown actually kind of looking at Connor Murphy because Murphy came over late. It's a missed assignment. Misses the first free throw. George Brown III for his offensive sort of limit, to put it. He's smart defensively. He's out there because if you can play defense and rebound, you will get minutes under head coach Bruce Koopman.
That's right.
Regnerus goes 1 of 2. The Rangers pressing in the backcourt. There's a steal by McKernan as he takes it away. Lays it up and in, and just like that, it's back to a 1-point Ranger lead. There's another steal. Raiden out to Moore for 3. Good. Caleb Moore gives the Rangers a 29-25 lead. A 6-point run by the Rangers and a full timeout called by the Ramblers.
Neat strategy.
What a turnaround
by Ryan Hiller. Don't press to get McBain comfortable and then throw it on after the next turnover. Caught us napping.
Sure did. Back-to-back turnovers lead to 5 quick Ranger points, and they've got a 4-point lead here early in the third quarter. We'll take a quick break, 30 seconds, and we will be back. Third quarter action coming up right after this.
Making the final arrangements for a loved one is never easy. At Burkholder Family Funeral Home in McBain, they can help you get through the process one step at a time. Serving the families in McBain and the surrounding communities for over 40 years, they take pride in providing exceptional services that families can actually afford. The caring and compassionate staff at Burkholder Family Funeral Home can help ease the burden. Burkholder Family Funeral Home. Visit them today at 211 North Pine Street in McBain or call 231-825-8191.
Out of the timeout here at Manton High School, the Ramblers will inbound. The Rangers, again, pressing full court. They are facing Connor Murphy. He's trying to get it in, and the turnover again. So the Ramblers, assuming that Connor Murphy, Lars, can get away from Caleb Moore to get this inbounds. No help coming at all for Rodenbaugh. And his pass goes off Murphy's hands, and another turnover, and then wide open is a cutting Cole Regnerus. And the Rangers, after the Murphy 3, are just on fire. Caden McGillis all the way to the rim, lays it up and in. Just Euro steps his defender right by him.
Good aggressive move by Caden to make sure that that ball was going to fall.
And he stems the tide, and we're going to get a foul on Jacob Hahn. And right there is exactly what I was talking about in the first half, right? That was no different,
exactly,
honestly, than the collision between Hahn and Rodenbaugh last time. This time, though, different official. Had a different angle, and he saw it differently. No, but I mean, genuinely, a lot of times it does depend on what you see. That's going to be Hahn's 3rd foul. And there's another steal by the Rangers. A lazy pass for Verberkmos. Ball passed back out to Hahn for 3. Front iron, no good. Rebound chased down, but then grabbed by Moore. Moore gets into the paint. Topside, Raiden open for 3. Good. Isaac Raiden with the triple. And it's another 7-point Ranger lead. Verberkmos over the timeline, dribbles it off his foot, but into the hands of McGillis. And they're going to say McGillis traveled.
It's the second travel on McGillis.
Yeah, both times.
There's a little giddy-up step when he goes.
He's kind of shuffling to take off with that pivot foot. It's the kind of travel that no high school boys basketball player in the country thinks is actually a travel, but it gets called every time. So the turnover goes back to the Rangers as Moore working against Murphy, top of the key. 5.5 minutes to go here in the third quarter. It's 34-27. Ragnaris cut off. They get it to Radin. Radin will dribble top side, swing it up for McKernan, who gives it to Hahn. Hahn cuts inside, kind of holds off McElhenney with a nice little move. Loose ball, battled for, and George Brown III comes up with it. Brown all the way to the 10. Layup won't go. And I believe this is going to be off McGillis. Nope, they're saying it's going to be McBain basketball. It's I believe is a beneficial call for McBain. Looked like it went off McGillis from up here, but you know what? I trust that official. Another advanced optometry, good call. He's way closer than I am. Murphy gets it into Brown. Out to McElhenney. He'll take the three. Back iron, no good. Rebound collected by Radin.
Good box out by Radin there.
5 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Moore drives baseline, elevating. Brown coming over for the block. Bumps him with the body. Moore can't get the shot to go. But George Brown III is going to pick up his second foul, and Moore will go to the line for two.
Yeah, to think McBain had a lead just a couple minutes ago.
They had a 2-point lead.
Down by 7 now.
25-23. A free throw, one of two free throws by Cole Ragnaris. And off the made free throw, that's where it really went. Got a steal on the opening as they brought it in. Converted to a quick layup. Another steal turned into an Isaac Radin a Caleb Moore three. And they've had two more steals that have led to buckets. And after that free throw by Moore, well, we'll say after this free throw by Moore, off the back iron, it's 35-27, but Ragnaris with another offensive rebound for the Rangers. I don't even know how many that has to be, but it's crazy.
Yep, just some great aggressive hustle.
Here's Ragnaris, little hop step, jump stop between Rodenbaugh and McGillis.
That's on Rodenbaugh.
And if it's on Rodenbaugh, yep, that's going to be his fourth. So Daniel Rodenbaugh has picked up his fourth foul. And that's going to bring Owen Bonico into the game and send Rodenbaugh to the bench with 4:44 to go here in the third quarter. That's a huge loss for the Ramblers.
I read in the paper, Owen Bonico's coming in. I read in the paper that his nickname is the Bruise Maker.
I have the feeling just looks at you and causes a bruise.
If that's Mike Dunn with the Saki Sentinel.
Yeah, it could be. It has to be. He's the only one that gives the kids nicknames. Ragnaris goes 1 for 2 from the line again. 36-27. Again, pressure in the backcourt. Murphy trying to split the defense is going to draw a foul. We had 3 white jerseys around him.
Yeah, that's a tough
call
thing.
it on Caleb Moore.
Connor can go through that all the time, but they're not always going to call that when you get the reach in, and now it's a turnover. So it's like, do you pick and choose? Because we've been a little timid on how we're attacking this press.
Inbounded by McElhenney. They get it to Connor Murphy, top of the key. Goes behind his back. Here's McGillis on the left wing. McGillis harassed by Radin. Owen Bonico trying to post up on the block. Swung around to Murphy, right wing. Top side for McElhenney. Thought about the three. Pump fake. Now he'll put it on the floor. McGillis on the left wing. Trying to get it to Brown, who's being fronted by Ragnaris. Top side Bonico. Right wing for McElhenney. Down low for Murphy against Moore. Goes baseline. Trying to find Brown on the left block. Ball on the floor. Owen Bonico gets his paws on it, and that's going to be a jump ball, or you're going to lose a digit. And the jump ball will go to the Rangers. 4:05 to go here in the third. It's a 9-point lead for the Rangers, biggest of the game. I got a quick update for you, Lars. Over in Alpena on our sister station, 107.1 The Drive, the Cadillac Vikings, where the win can take the Big North Conference title. They're going to overtime, tied at 41 with the Alpena Wildcats.
Wow.
We will not be offended if you go over there for the finish and come back to us. Caleb Moore will fling it out to Radin on a skip pass. Radin driving baseline, gets by his man, rejected by McGillis. Caden McGillis climbing the ladder and blocking the Isaac Radin layup. Here's Murphy into the paint, jump stop, lefty layup won't go. And Ragnaris pulls down the rebound. Now the Rangers with numbers. Across the lane, Brown can't get the block, but the layup no good from McKernan. Now the Ramblers back the other way. Murphy double teamed and cut off. Finds Bonico. Bonico will flip it back to Murphy. Now McElhinney on the right wing. McElhinney driving baseline, gets the layup to go.
Did you see the screeninator down there? Bonico clearing things out for him.
We are going to get a timeout from head coach Ryan Hiller of the Rangers. 36-29. Manton with the lead. 3:05 to go here in the third. Rangers have taken control, but the Ramblers aren't going anywhere. We'll take a quick break and be back right after this.
McBain Rural Agricultural Schools is looking for the next generation of Ramblers. If you want to give your child the gift of a great education, make McBain Rural Agricultural Schools your school of choice. Every McBain Rambler gets a MacBook or iPad, a strong curriculum, including a variety of vocational programs, great athletics, and access to a brand new state-of-the-art performing arts center. Because great performances shouldn't be limited to the football field and basketball court. School of Choice is now open, which means a huge decision for your family is upon you. If you want a school that will challenge your child, support your child, and celebrate your child's individuality, make sure McBain is on your short list. It's never too late to change schools, and McBain is accepting students K through 12th grade. For more information, visit mcbain.org or call the superintendent's office at 231-825-2165. That's 231-825-2165. 231-825-2165.
And welcome back to Manton High School. Jay Simon alongside Lars Ferdine. Abby Danforth, our producer and engineer, back in the studio. 3 minutes to go here in the third out of a Ranger timeout. They have possession. Here's a corner three. Wide open was Morrow, off the mark. And the Ramblers with the rebound. McGillis looking for McElhinney on the weak side, who chases down the errant pass. Gets it back to McGillis here on the left wing. Being harassed by the sophomore McKernan, the only sophomore on either roster. Murphy behind the back working against Morrow. Top side for McElhinney. Swings it over to Brown. Back to the logo for Murphy over McElhinney. McElhinney drives. Pulls it back out. Swings it to McGillis. McGillis surveying. Lefty dribble into the paint. McGillis off that left foot. Tough shot. Yes, the hoop and the harm.
He just hangs in the air. Did a nice job of getting by on that first step, and watch out.
Caden McGillis is having the game of the year for him. 2:19 remaining here in the third quarter. Going to the line for his third opportunity at a three-point play. With a substitution, that foul was called on McKernan, the sophomore. It's his third. So Jacob Hahn and Lucas McKernan each with 3 fouls. For the Rambler, Daniel Rodenbaugh has 4. Went to the bench with 4:44 to go. It was awfully nice of them to send him off at 4:44. It makes it easy for me to remember and tell you how long he's been out of the game.
Murphy's mopping the floor there. It's nice of the visiting team to come in and take care of any water issues on the floor.
I'm not sure they ever cleaned up Brown's 6-foot slide on the baseline, but maybe that was out of bounds. Caleb Moore's going to check out.
No,
a little breather
when
here.
Brown slid, it reminded me of the summer slip and slide that you do.
He went to his bag and just did not stop. McGillis's freebie is good. Caden McGillis makes it a 36-32 Ranger lead as Isaac Radin brings it over half court. Uses a Rupert pick into the corner for McKernan. Back topside, swung around. Morrow open for 3 again, this time off the front iron, and Bonico snags the rebound. 2 minutes remaining here in the third. Murphy over the timeline, working against the bespeckled Morrow. Love those goggles, seriously. McGillis topside for Bonico. Bonico, not much of an offensive threat, admittedly. Looking for some help. He'll hand it off to McGillis out by the Ranger logo. McGillis checked by Radin, who's given him plenty of room because they do not want McGillis driving anymore. They'd rather take chances with his jumper. Brown surveying, top of the key, finds Bonico underneath. Bonico, tough shot, can't get it to go. Challenged well by the Ranger defender, and they'll hand it off. Hahn brings it over the timeline. Hahn, a little hesitation on Brown. Now he'll dribble it out. Minute 20 remaining here in the third quarter as Hahn hands it off to Radin, and now Hahn will take it to the top of the key and indicates a little 4 corners action here because George Brown with a minute 7 remaining. This isn't bad. The Ramblers, I don't think, with a 4-point game, care too much. Send this to the fourth quarter without getting any more harm. Hahn fakes the handoff, drives. McGillis challenging the shot, but Hahn gets it to go over top. Tough shot by Jacob Hahn.
Yeah, and it was all net.
45 seconds to go here in the third. McElhinney over the timeline now on the right wing. McElhinney lefty dribble working against Raiden. Spins back, right-handed, gets into the paint. Looks to kick it out, and Hahn takes it away from him. Jacob Hahn, bounce pass over to Morrow. Somehow got that pass to Ramblers. That bounce pass won't get through. George Brown with the steal. And then Raiden hustling the other way. Nobody yelled, hey-o, George Brown, and it gets tapped out of bounds.
I'll tell you what.
Ramblers will inbound under their own basket.
Every kid out there is hustling. I don't know if they'll have anything left at the end of the game.
I'm tired just calling this game. 26 seconds left as Connor Murphy here in the third quarter will trigger under his own basket. Grayson Verberkmos checks back into the game. Garrett, older brother, graduated. Connor Murphy out at the logo working against Moore, who's checked back in for the Rangers. Hands it off to Verberkmos. Bonico looking for some help. Over to McGillis here on the near side. McGillis pump fakes. Regnerus off the ground, and then we're going to get an offensive foul. McGillis got into the paint, and that's the problem is McGillis needs to take one more step or one more dribble because the Rangers, every single time on the help, are getting to the spot. And if McGillis can't get off the ground early enough, they are there. And even that guy, he tried to swing around them, but it just wasn't enough. And if he takes one more dribble, I think he can avoid that call. He could take one more dribble to get around, or one more little step.
Side Euro thing, and really his only fouls are on both offensive fouls.
Yeah, the Euro step is what I think I've seen him do it. He's effective at it. Now we just need to get him to, because if he can go sideways, I think he can get that shot off, especially to the left. He likes shooting from the left side like that with the right hand. Here's Hahn with a quick trigger, gets it to go. It's a two-pointer at the buzzer. Jacob Hahn had a foot on the line, but the two-pointer will send the Rangers into the final quarter with a 40-32 lead. Final 8 minutes of this one are coming your way. Don't you dare go anywhere. We'll be back right after this.
Providing great service and quality to our customers, LC Materials is here for you and all your concrete and aggregate needs, both residential and commercial projects. We can assist you in estimates, sand and gravel needs, project details, and on-time delivery. LC Materials is also in Cadillac at the Concrete Store. The Concrete Store has building supplies, stone, block, tools, and other accessories to help you finish your project. So when you're ready, call LC Materials. We're ready when you are, online at lcmaterials.net. High school students are training for the jobs of tomorrow today at the Wexford Misaki Career Technical Center in Cadillac. Juniors and seniors from 12 area high schools can choose from 14 career-driven programs. Free college credit is available. Visit WMISD.org and click or tap the Career Technical Education link. See all the great programs, then talk to your student's counselor. Call 876-2200. The Wexford Misaki Career Technical Center on 13th Street across from Baker College. Proud to serve the students of McBain High School. CTC is the place to be.
40-32, the Manton Rangers hosting the McBain Ramblers, enjoying an 8-point lead as we've got multiple towels coming out. These young men, no doubt, sweating profusely on this nice, shiny new floor here in Manton. Jay Simon alongside Lars Fredin, our producer and engineer Abby Danforth back in the studio. Well, the Ramblers got a three-pointer from Connor Murphy to open this half. Lars took a 2-point lead. And it was like it triggered something for the Rangers. They got a free throw off the conversion. They got a steal and a 2-point layup. Got another steal and a three-pointer. And just like that, they took the lead back, extended it to 9. Ramblers cut it to 4, but now it's 8 as we get the fourth quarter underway. McBain with the ball. Ramblers going right to left here in the second half. It's Grayson Verberkmos.
Looks like a triangle and 2 matchup zone. What do they got?
I'll let you get that. I'll
triangle
follow the ball.
And 2.
McGillis topside for Verberkmos. So the 2 are on Murphy.
Diamond and 1.
It's a diamond and 1. Yeah, they're going against Murph. McGillis, corner 3, wide open. Front iron, no good. Rebound chased down by Moore. That's a good look. Caden McGillis can hit that. The other end, Jacob Hahn working against McGillis. Brings it topside.
Gotta love being a teammate of someone that's getting the one on them, because you should get some open shots if you work hard.
My problem in high school is I was the one defender. And Steve Avery, who went on to pitch for the Atlanta Braves, put up 17 on me in the opening quarter. That's my claim to fame. Jacob Hahn to the tin, leads it up and in. Tough drive by Jacob Hahn. It's a 42-32 lead, first double-digit lead of the game. As Murphy being harassed by Caleb Moore. I don't know if he's having a conversation with him. Connor Murphy looks to the bench. Back to Verberkmos. Boy, Verberkmos you'd love to see try to get a shot off here. McGillis driving inside the diamond, finds a nice bounce pass for Brown, who lays it up and in.
That should be there all night if they can get that first step.
You'd love to try and get them out of this defense that way. Tough shot, Moore over the outstretched arm of McGillis. Weak side rebound pulled down by McElhinney. Murphy quickly up ahead for Verberkmos. Verberkmos gets into the paint, loses the handle, gets it back after it's knocked away from him. Out from McGillis, long two, back iron, no good. Verberkmos with the weak side rebound, and I think we're going to get the foul. No, it's going to be on Verberkmos.
He was boxing him out, had great position.
He was holding. Was it a box out or is it a holdout off with the arm?
Didn't make it through the metal detector is what happened.
That's That's either a good box out or holding off your opponent with one arm. You can do it with your body. You can't do it with your arm, right? Inside 6 minutes to go in the ball game. It's an 8-point Ranger lead, 42-34. Regnerus on the left wing, tries to go by Brown, who cuts him off, brings it back topside, into the corner for Hahn. He'll let the three fly, and Jacob Hahn is going to carry the Rangers to victory on his own. There's a pass from McGillis off his shoulder. He didn't see it coming. Scrum on the floor, and trying to get a timeout is Ryan Hiller, and he's not going to get it. They're going to call a jump ball. They're going to say Regnerus never had possession, which shocks me. I thought Regnerus had possession. I'm not sure why they didn't grant the timeout.
Now, if he had possession and he's squirming around like a worm, travel.
Well, he had his left hip established as his pivot hip.
Yeah,
so I didn't think he was moving there.
That's in the rule book subsection 3A
exactly,
on how not to travel there.
He had a pivot hip. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I don't know. Again, that's why I don't wear the stripes, man. That's why I don't do it.
There's a little delay in the action, but part of me wonders, let's not jump it up. Do they do a 10 count for not getting it over in time? Like, if McBain doesn't reach in?
45-34. Biggest lead of the game for the Rangers as Isaac Raiden brings it over the timeline. Working against Murphy. Spinning back. Finds Hahn. Hahn, little hesitation into the paint. Nice little move. Gets it to the rim and lays it up and in. Jacob Hahn is en fuego. 7 points here in the fourth quarter. 11 in this half, and he's going to draw a Rambler timeout. 5:08 remaining in this one. And Jacob Hahn has put the Rangers on his back. He can do no wrong right now. Got an update for you from Alpena.
Double overtime. Come on.
They went to overtime, tied at 41. The Vikings win the game.
Wow.
43-42.
Ooh, little stall action, huh?
I don't know what happened in that game.
Let's see. It should be a 4-minute overtime, right? Because it's half of the 8. Yeah. Wow.
That's unbelievable.
That's not very much scoring there in overtime.
But hey,
good defense.
Congratulations to the Cadillac Vikings. That gives them the Big North Conference title outright.
That's exciting for the town of Cadillac. Those kids have worked hard. Great coaching there. But what a long drive to Alpena. That's the thing.
Listen, Bill Barnett and Todd Golnick with the call, I believe. I'm assuming Golnick went with him. And I love Bill and Todd, but Rich Spicer, our very own, whose morning show is here on 107.9 CDY, is running the board for them. I told them, let Todd and Bill know, hey, not too long a celebration in the postgame.
It's a long drive home.
It's a long drive home, right? Out of the Rambler timeout, McBain will inbound. Verberkmos will get it into McElhinney. McElhinney given plenty of space by the sophomore McKernan. At the logo, looking for the play call. Wants to get it to Murphy. Hand it to him. Immediately double teamed. Murphy loses the handle. Chases it down. Murphy with 3 white jerseys, and it's going to be a jump ball. Listen, Coach Coatman has forgotten and shredded more basketball knowledge than I'll ever know. I just don't quite understand why you don't just say, all right, you want to play 4-on-4 and take Caleb Moore out of it and play basically a zone against 4 very good athletes? Fine. Murphy, go run into the corner.
Yep.
And see what happens. I just, the insistence on trying to get him the ball doesn't make a whole lot of sense. There's a near steal by the Rangers. Actually, they did steal it, and then the Ramblers take it right back. Verberkmos to the rim, the hoop and the harm. Grayson Verberkmos extending that long right arm. The kid's got to have a 6'8" wingspan.
I wanted to hear
Puts it on the rim.
The bionic sound of the $1 Million Man there.
I didn't have that one there. I'm sorry. Grayson Verberkmos with his first points since going down with the injury in the opening game of the season.
You talk about taking Murphy, put him in the corner, but then when we let the other kids go in, we had about 3 turnovers.
Yeah, it's tough call, but I just feel like, kids like McElhenney, they've got good handles. I don't know. Again, that's why I'm just a dumb broadcaster. 4.5 minutes remaining in this one. 47-36, Rangers with the lead as Raiden content to let Rodenbaugh stand there. Drive and then back off, and he's not getting the 5-second call. Nobody's anywhere near him. Rangers are just circling. Raiden uses a pick, actually goes the other way. The lefty layup is good. Isaac Raiden. Scouting reports got to tell you that he wants to go left, even though he's a right-handed dribbler. Finishes so cleanly with that left hand. Verberkmos into the paint. Little runner around the rim, won't go, and the rebound chased down by Jacob Rupert.
So it looked like they went out of the diamond there and just went to a 3-2.
Well, if they're going to switch it up every time, it's going to confuse the Ramblers. They're going to have to make sure they waste time while they check to see what the defense is so they know what to run, right?
Yep.
3:40 remaining in the ball game. Ramblers trail by 13. Isaac Raiden, defended by Rodenbaugh, is playing with those 4 fouls. Now Rodenbaugh is close enough. Give it up to Hahn. Hahn gets around Murphy, cuts him off. And that pass intended for Raiden, and Hahn throws it into the Ranger bench. And we are going to get a Rambler timeout with 3:25 remaining. And Lars, if I'm not mistaken, that's their last timeout.
So all he has to do is draw up that 13-point play that they've been working on all summer.
Exactly. It's a full timeout. So 49-36. We will take a quick break. Finale of this one coming your way. Can the Rangers hang on and earn themselves a chance at a solo Highland Conference title? Well, come back with us. We'll be right back right after this.
In the small town of McBain lies a locally owned family pharmacy that takes pride in helping improve the health of every patient that comes through the door. At McBain Family Pharmacy, you're more than just a prescription. Here, you're family, and their experienced team of professionals are always available to answer any questions you may have regarding prescription and over-the-counter medications. McBain Family Pharmacy is your full-service family pharmacy for both traditional and compound medications. Call them today at 231-825-8175. That's 231-825-8175. Or stop by their store located at 119 North Roland Street in McBain.
49-36, the Manton Rangers have dominated this second half. They led by 1, but a 17-10 third quarter and a dominating fourth quarter led by Jacob Hahn, who has 7 in this stanza, have given them a 13-point lead with 3:20 remaining in the ball game here in Manton.
Now they're back to the box and chase.
Jay Simon alongside Lars Fredin as Tristan McElhenney on the floor with Verberkmos, McGillis, Rodenbaugh, and Murphy. Murphy in the corner. Here's Verberkmos. Straightaway 3 is good. Grayson Verberkmos, and now the Ramblers will press full court. McGillis gets it over to Ragnaris. Skip pass for Raiden, nobody anywhere near him. Raiden gets into the paint, flips it over. Back into the hands of Hahn. Hahn cut off at the sideline, tried to throw it off Murphy, missed him. McElhenney up ahead for Rodenbaugh, who lays it up and in.
It's not quite the 13-point play, but we'll take it.
Nope. And Coach Hiller mildly upset. We'll call a 30-second timeout. Rangers, I believe, still have 2 fulls remaining. Actually, it's going to be a full timeout, but we'll still keep it here.
Rayden's such a good player, and he reminds me of these playground players where he's got all of these fancy tricks, moves, passes. He was just trying to knock it off one of the McBain players.
Jacob Hahn.
Yep. And then all of a sudden they moved, and now it looks like a not so smart pass and gave McBain the advantage.
He's trapped in the corner. Tough thing. What else you can do at that point? Throwing it off a defender can sometimes work for you. And
he's had some amazing moves tonight too. He looks like Pistol Pete Maravich going down in that lane.
Watching some of what he's done tonight, I was thinking to myself, man, I'd love to try that on our Sunday night run. And then I realized I'm almost 50 years old. That's a bad idea. I would immediately sprain an ACL right off the bat.
Speaking of 50, I think that's what Gary's celebrating.
Gary just turned 50. He did. He called me out on the air for not wishing him a happy birthday on Facebook, for not having a gift for him. So I got to take something Tuesday night for the broadcast.
Here's his gift, a night off, right?
Yeah, right. There you go. There you go. But then that's you giving him the night off, not me. 49-41. Rangers with the lead out of the timeout. Will inbound in the backcourt. Ramblers probably going to look to foul here relatively soon if they can't get a steal. Hahn swings it back to Rayden. Rayden underneath from McKernan, who lays it up and in.
That might be the play of the game right there. That was pretty.
McKernan with the sort of half alley-oop layup there. McElhenney driving baseline. Nice little sidestep on a little jump stop. McElhenney with the lay-in, back to an 8-point lead. Moore splits the defense into the corner. McKernan trying to go baseline, bumps off Rodenbaugh, tries to get it back out to Hahn, and Murphy knocks it away. Boy, Ramblers' defensive effort really amping up here late. 2:04 remaining in the ball game as Jacob Hahn will trigger.
2 minutes to make it happen.
Out to Rayden. But your starters on the floor for both teams, with the exception Brown on the bench for Berkmos, on the floor for McBain. Into the corner. Moore wide open for three. Yes.
Oh, that's a dagger right
Caleb Moore. And you'll love to see that with a team that's got a big lead. Don't just eat the ball. If you get an open look, take it, right? For Berkmos, nice little bounce pass for Rodenbaugh. Got bumped by Rayden. And he will go to the line for a couple of free throws. So the Ramblers with an opportunity to pick up points while the clock does not move. Rodenbaugh takes the little hip check. And now he'll go to the line. Minute 40 remaining in this one. It's 54-43. Ramblers trailed by 13. They cut it to 8. And now it's back to 11 for the Rangers. As Rodenbaugh misses the first.
You can't have that happen if you wanted to make a comeback.
Jacob Rupert checks into the game. The sophomore McKernan will check out. It's a senior-heavy team. 6 of the 11 players on the roster are seniors for the Rangers, as Rodenbaugh goes 1 of 2. 10-point Ranger lead. They get it into Hahn on the far side. Skip past Rayden. Rayden chased down by McGillis, who knocks it out of bounds. Rangers will inbound in front of their own bench. Coach Hiller wants to get McKernan back into the game for offense. And Jacob Rupert will sit down. So they're doing a little offense-defense thing with Rupert and McKernan. Hahn will inbound. Gets it into Moore. Minute and a half remaining in this one. Hahn back to Moore. Double team to Rayden. Rayden surveying. Puts it on the floor. Top side for Moore. Double team. Pass back to Rayden. Rayden dribbles to the top of the key. Finds Moore. Ramblers scrambling. Left open is Rayden. 3-ball back iron. No good. Ball tapped to McGillis, but McGillis took an extra step. That's an easy call. Trying to get ahead of steam going.
Tristan McElhenney's wondering about how can Hahn fly into me, and I'm laying on the ground here.
Yeah, well, they're both going to tap that ball. There's been a lot of collisions. Like I said, this has been one of those games where they let a lot of things go early, and they've let these teams play that way the rest of the way. Minute 5 remaining. The Rangers really doing a nice job of playing keep away. McKernan finds Hahn underneath. Hahn generating some space, will get it up on the rim. Can't get it to go, but he'll go to the line for a couple of free throws.
Imagine Owen Bonico trying to generate that space. What call do you think would happen?
An immediate foul call, yes. Only because Hahn, as he generated space, his defender didn't move much.
Yeah,
Bonico does that, and his defender's at half court.
No, Hans played an amazing game tonight.
Continues at the free throw line as he drains the first. He's got 8 fourth-quarter points. As a burst from Hans, 7 straight, really separated the Rangers from the Ramblers here in the fourth quarter. Don't forget, stick around. The Kelly's Pizza and Grill postgame show's coming, where Lars Ferdinand will give out all the postgame awards, even though he doesn't realize he's going to have to do that. Second ball was missed, and then on the other end, Rupert's going to foul Rodenbaugh, and Rodenbaugh will go to the line for more free throws, as McElhinney found Rodenbaugh ahead of the defense for the layup attempts. Jacob Rupert will pick up his third foul.
You know, it's a sign of a championship team there is Manton is not giving McBain anything easy. Even on that one, should have been an easy layup, and he was contested on it.
Rodenbaugh knocks down the first. 52 seconds remaining. 10-point Ranger lead, as we mentioned Reggie Miller earlier in describing George Brown's shooting technique. As Rodenbaugh misses the second, they're going to need a Reggie Miller-like finish here if they hope to come back, as Berkmos will hip check Radin as he comes over half court. Easy call in front of the official over there.
You know, you can try to do the foul and get the 3 points for their 2 free throws, but they might be hard to catch even with how great
that's
Manton
the
is
thing.
passing.
They've got so many good ball handlers out there right now between Radin, Moore, and Hahn. And the trust that Coach Hiller has in McKernan to have him out there during a tough moment like this as well. Moore's actually on the bench right now. Maybe they want the size. As Radin knocks down both free throws. For Berkmos, driving to the 10, can't get it to go. They're going to get Hahn on the foul. Hahn tried to do the whole, I'm going to hold my arms in the air and you can't possibly call a foul on me. Can you? But they do.
Never seen that one before.
No, it never seems to work either. For Berkmos, trying to get around him and use the long arm to lay it in. And that's going to be Hahn's 5th foul. And Jacob Hahn gets some love from his teammates, and a very pleased Manton fan base will applaud him to the bench because he has been integral in this one. Hahn finishes with 16 points for the Rangers. As Garrett, so sorry. Grayson for Berkmos goes to the line. I said Garrett for 3 years. And I haven't said Grayson all year. It's not my fault. Except in the pregame when I would talk about how he wasn't playing.
It's only his second game, you know.
And I didn't call the first one. It's not my fault. Hashtag broadcaster excuses. For Berkmos, goes 1 of 2. 57-46, Rangers by 11. 39 seconds remaining as they trap in the backcourt. Ragnaris gets it to Moore. A little skip pass for Radin. Radin blows by 2 defenders into the corner now for Rupert, harassed by Berkmos, and we're going to get a timeout from Ryan Hiller. He'll use his last 30-second timeout. I believe he's got remaining.
Yeah, you can just look on their cute little, the score there, the book has the blocks. You can look at that and see how many are left. Harv Lucas isn't using that for us. We have no visual for McBain.
No, I think he is using it because
it's just out.
Because the blocks are all on the stack. There, he's done. He has no more. Or he's not using it. That's fair. I don't know. It's yeah. So I'm right. Rangers have 1 full timeout. I know the Ramblers are out. Part of the reason they haven't called the timeout in 3.5 minutes. 28 seconds remain in this one. Rangers will inbound on the Manton word on the baseline here at the north side of the gym. Ragnaris surveying. Top side gets it into Moore just inside the half-court line. McElhinney harassing him. McElhinney trying to get the steal. They finds Radin. Radin swings away from Rodenbaugh and then kicks it out for Moore. As the Ramblers just looking to steal, not trying to foul necessarily, but now Murphy will commit the foul on Moore as he goes around him. And Caleb Moore will go to the line for a 1-and-1. Is that Murphy's first? Nope, second. foul. Okay. My official statistician a little behind, didn't have the first Murphy foul. Caleb Moore knocks down the first free throw.
Yeah, give Matin credit. They came in with a good game plan and they executed it well. And actually, McBain took a lead in the second half, but it's been all Rangers since.
It's like the Connor Murphy three-pointer set something off. Here's McElhinney driving baseline, elevating. Can't get it to go. McGillis nearly tip-dunked that back in and missed it, grabbed the rim. It could have technically been offensive goaltending because the ball was still up in the cylinder, I thought. Radin takes the inbound, brings it into the front court. And that's going to do it. The Man Rangers with an impressive 59-46 victory over the McBain Ramblers have set themselves up for a shot at the solo Highland Conference title. We'll take a quick break, collect our stats and thoughts. The Kelly's Pizza and Grill postgame show is coming your way right after this.
McBain Rural Agricultural Schools is looking for the next generation of Ramblers. If you want to give your child the gift of a great education, make McBain Rural Agricultural Schools your school of choice. Every McBain Rambler gets a MacBook or iPad, a strong curriculum, including a variety of vocational programs, great athletics, and access to a brand new state-of-the-art performing arts center. Because great performances shouldn't be limited to the football field and basketball court. School of Choice is now open, which means a huge decision for your family is upon you. If you want a school that will challenge your child, support your child, and celebrate your child's individuality, make sure McBain is on your short list. It's never too late to change schools, and McBain is accepting students K through 12th grade. For more information, visit mcbain.org or call the superintendent's office at 231-825-2165. That's 231-825-2165. 231-825-2165.
When it's late, when it's snowing, when you just have to have it. It's nice knowing McNally's Party Store in downtown McBain is open 7 days a week. Locally owned and operated with the friendliest cashiers helping to serve your grocery needs. From candy and chips to pop and munchies, McNally's Party Store, they're still keeping it cold. And wishing the McBain Ramblers good luck in tonight's game. That's McNally's Party Store in downtown McBain, open 7 days a week.
In the small town of McBain lies a locally owned family pharmacy that takes pride in helping improve the health of every patient that comes through the door. At McBain Family Pharmacy, you're more than just a prescription. You're your family, and their experienced team of professionals are always available to answer any questions you may have regarding prescription and over-the-counter medications. McBain Family Pharmacy is your full-service family pharmacy for both traditional and compound medications. Call them today at 231-825-8175. That's 231-825-8175. Or stop by their store located at 119 North Roland Street in McBain.
Providing great service and quality to our customers, LC Materials is here for you and all your concrete and aggregate needs, both residential and commercial projects. We can assist you in estimates, sand and gravel needs, project details, and on-time delivery. LC Materials is also in Cadillac at the Concrete Store. The Concrete Store has building supplies, stone, block, tools, and other accessories to help you finish your project. So when you're ready, call LC Materials. We're ready when you are, online at lcmaterials.net.
To Manton High School, the pep band is celebrating a Ranger victory, 59-46. Manton with the victory over the McBain Ramblers. They take a one-game lead in the Highland Conference with 1 game to play. They will take on Pine River next week. If they win that, they will have
the outright
Highland Conference title.
Now, have they shared it the last 3 years?
I could look. I couldn't tell you for sure.
It's at least 2.
I don't know that Manton, it's been a while since Manton had an outright title. I know they've shared it a while, but I don't know if quite a few times, but I don't know if they've had it outright in a while. I'd have to look at that. That's the kind of pregame research you think that.
I'm sure Gary has the answer.
Yeah,
not here.
By the way, Mark View of the Cadillac Evening News, apparently listening to us on his drive back to Cadillac, wanted to mention to me that it's the Vikings are likely to share the Big North title with Traverse City Central. They probably have a game left. They're likely to win that game. So it looks like it's the Vikings are going to probably share the Big North title, according to Mark View, but that's still an impressive victory without question.
Yes. And interesting overtime, too. We were thinking it's 4 minutes and only, 3 total points were scored?
2-1. Vikings win the overtime, according to my
I'm looking at Coach Rennie Lafreniere's banner up here, and Rennie, the old Matin coach from 84 to 2006, he was known for stalling at half court, even with a 2-point lead. You're going to play a zone or a box and one, we'll stand back here and make you come out of it.
Well, the box and one reared its head tonight as the Rangers used it for a little while in the second half against point guard Connor Murphy of the Ramblers. But it was the second half that allowed the Rangers to pull away. Let's talk about the statistics for you. The Ramblers trailed 23-22 at halftime, and they came out. Connor Murphy buried a 3, gave the Ramblers a 2-point lead. And it was like something snapped in the Rangers. They got a 1 of 2 free throws from Lucas McKernan. Got a steal on the inbound with a press. Got a layup from, I want to say it was Regnerus. Immediately then got another steal. Caleb Moore drains a 3, and just like that, it was suddenly a 5-point lead for the Rangers. And from there, they just extended it. The Ramblers made a late push in the third. They trailed by as many as 13. They cut it to 4 at one point in the third quarter. Trailed by 13, cut it to 8 again in the fourth quarter, but they just never could get over the hump. And the Rangers just pulled away. Run down the scoring for you in the game. Actually, I need to finish doing that, Lars, so I'm going to ask you. You've been keeping attempts. The Ramblers, we think, just 2 of 6 from 3-point range, and it doesn't surprise me because I feel like they stopped taking many threes in the second half. I think that number might be pretty accurate. 4 of 12 from 3-point range for the Rangers.
Yeah, so McBain kind of lived by the 3 early on in the season, and now you see some hesitation when they're behind the arc. And man, anytime you hesitate on that, your confidence might be shaken. Now, one thing, McBain has lost 3 of the last 4 games. And a lot of teams are taking Connor Murphy out of the mix. They seem to come up with a recipe on how to beat McBain. But there's a big week left with some 2 tough games. But they have time to right the ship before they get into the districts with Lake City. Not next Wednesday, but the Wednesday after.
And I think what's really important is Garrett Verberkmos gets 2 more games to get his feet under him.
Yeah.
Grayson Verberkmos gets 2 more games to get his feet under him. Just Dan's right there. He's not listening, thank goodness. Mom's probably listening somewhere. Grayson Verberkmos, who went out with an injury in the opening game of the season, came back tonight for his first time since that injury. And looked a little off, it's game speed. You can't, and certainly against a rival like Manton, it was even more so than it might have been against another team. You can't plan for that. All you can do is get out here and deal with it. Yep. But 2 more games will give him an opportunity to get those sea legs.
Yes, and honestly, he's a cross-country runner. He's a good athlete. You're right. He could be a little wobbly on that. But what I noticed about him, man, he was on the floor a lot today, hustling after things, going through. He didn't care if he took a charge or not. Tried to even give some. I was holding my breath every time he went to the floor.
Yeah, no doubt about that.
I'm sure his mom was too.
Yes, his health, all these kids, their health is the most important thing. You want to see them play their hearts out, but you don't want to see anybody go out with any kind of injury. Let's run down the scoring for you tonight. The Rangers were paced at 3 players in double figures, led by Jacob Hahn, who finishes with 17 points, 12 in the second half, 8 in the final quarter to really lead the way for the Rangers. He really put the final nail, if you will, in this victory early with a spurt in the fourth quarter. Just a dagger 3 from the left wing that pushed it to a double-digit lead. Meanwhile, Isaac Radin finishes with 16 points. Caleb Moore finishes with 12, including a pair of triples. And then Lucas McKernan, the sophomore, finishes with 6. Jacob Rupert with 4, and Cole Regnerus finishes with 4 points. For the Rangers, who, as we mentioned, 4 of 12 from 3-point range unofficially, 11 of 18 from the free throw line.
And they really poured it on in the second half. McBain had them in check. Manton had McBain in check. But that third quarter, that was really the key to the game. And give Manton credit. They out-hustled. They were in on every play. McBain had some wide-open looks, but there was always a Ranger to challenge.
For the Ramblers, Caden McGillis, a game-high 20 points, but just 5 in the second half, as some defensive adjustments from the Rangers didn't allow Caden to continue doing what he was doing in that first half. They got 8 out of Daniel Rodenbaugh, who played most of that second half with 4 fouls, finishes with 4 points in that fourth quarter, and did a nice job to not foul out of the game. 6 from Grayson Verberkmos, all in the fourth quarter. 5 from Connor Murphy, who was largely held in check other than that early 3 that gave them their only lead of the game to start the third quarter. They got 4 from Tristan McElhenney and 3 from George Brown III, who gave them some nice minutes defensively as well, getting his second straight start for the Ramblers, who go 2 of 6 unofficially from three-point range, 14 of 21 from the line. What's really important there, though, is they were 11 of 13 through 3 quarters of play before going 3 of 8 in the final stanza.
Yeah, a couple things that stick out to me is, one, the Connor Murphy only having 5 points, but he also is a point guard. Him driving and dishing is an important part of the game. A Mason Hooker shutout is another thing that catches my eye.
Back-to-back games. Actually, 3 games in a row, if I'm not mistaken, he has not scored.
And he has been more of a threat from the outside than he is actually on the inside. He's one of the tallest players on the team.
He's got a good 3-point shot.
Yes. And especially running a box and one, that might give him some opportunities to get some open looks. But, yep, McBain's got to right the ship here next week, or it's going to be an interesting, maybe a quick end of the season. So
certainly is. We need to run down some post-game awards where we put all the pressure on Lars and force him to make some decisions. First one I need from you is the Judy K. Gildy Photography Picture Perfect Play of the Game. And there were a couple opportunities, things that I had noted that I thought you might pick, but this is why we pay you the big bucks. Lars, what do you got?
Yeah, so there was a lot of opportunities. It was a fun basketball game to watch if you're a fan of the game. The one I picked was Manton was on a press break, and so McBain was pressing, and I don't know if the ball even hit the floor. It was pass, and there was a little alley-oop from about quarter court, about volleyball line, right to Lucas McKernan.
Isaac Raiden to McKernan, yep.
So he was right, coming on the baseline, kind of out of the picture, got behind everybody, never even hit the ground, just caught it and put it right back up. And I said, that was a pretty play.
That was a gorgeous play, got to agree. Isaac Raiden to Lucas McKernan, the little half alley-oop to break the press in that key run at the end of the game as the Rangers held off the Ramblers when they tried to make a late burst. Is your Judy K. Gildy Photography Picture Perfect Play of the Game. Need to move on to the George Johnson All Heart Award. George, of course, a longtime Rambler assistant basketball coach and bled green and gold, one of the biggest fans you'd ever see of the Ramblers and Rambler athletics. We lost him a couple of football seasons ago, but his memory lives on in this George Johnson All Heart Award given to the player for the Ramblers who best exemplified George's passion for Rambler athletics. I have a feeling I know where you're going with this one.
So this one goes to a player that this is only his second game. He's been having a frustrated season with 2 broken arms in 1 year. Out the first game, gets a plate book put in and with a bunch of screws, comes back and he plays hard. He's on the floor. We're worried that he's going to break it again. And I tell you what, I call him the bionic arm there. He had some great plays out there. His energy lifted McBain up. So this George Johnson All Heart Award goes to Grayson Verberkmos for his comeback after sitting out. One, probably not in game shape, but he's been one of those cheerleaders all year long, and he's a vital part of this team.
Absolutely. Grayson Verberkmos, your George Johnson All Heart Award winner. How about the Defensive Player of the Game, presented by Huttinga Electric? And in a game like this, kind of like you could give it to almost any kid out on the floor because their effort was fantastic. But
so this one's going to go to a Manton player, basically running that box and chase, chasing Connor Murphy all over the place. This one's going to go to Caleb Moore for his defensive effort of not letting Murphy get comfortable anywhere on the court.
And he did a great job in the first half when they were just playing straight man as well. He's just, as we joked, he knows exactly what sort of deodorant young Mr. Murphy wears. And great defensive effort by Caleb Moore throughout the game, really helping to keep Murphy in check and let the Rangers pull away with the win. He is your Huttinga Electric Defensive Player of the Game. I need to make sure that we thank all of our broadcast partners for their support of tonight's broadcast. Could not do it without them. If you stop into any of these businesses, please let them know you heard them here on 107.9 CDY and thank them for their support of these broadcasts. We love to do it. We'd probably do it anyway, but we appreciate the fact that they help us to pay the bills and allow us to do it. They include Burkholder Family Funeral Home, McBain Auto Service, Falmouth Co-op, Shepherd's Agency, McLean Transmissions, Kelly's Pizza and Grill, L&J Meat Market, Judy K. Gildy Photography, Advanced Optometry, Pluger Mechanical, McBain Rural Agricultural Schools, Don's Auto Clinic and High Point Cadillac GMC, McNally's Party Store, McBain Family Pharmacy, LC Materials, Wexford Misaki Career Tech Center, Northern Truck Service, McBain Hardware, and Huttinga Electric. This is the Kelly's Pizza and Grill post-game show. Your final here in Manton, 59-46. The Rangers needing a win over Pine River next week, and they will have the outright Highland Conference title. That leaves us with one last bit of business. It is the most exciting 15 seconds in all of broadcasting. It doesn't matter if it's Lars or it's Gary. It is still the Hawkeye Player of the Game, presented by L&J Meat Market. Everybody waits around with bated breath to find out who it's going to be. Lars, who you got?
Everybody's in their car driving home. It's whiteout conditions. The roads are icy, but it's turned to 107.9, listening for this moment right now. Hey, guys, keep your eyes on the road.
You're speaking from personal experience, aren't you?
I am. You are. So the Hawkeye Player of the Game, brought to you by L&J Meat Market, is going to go to the leading scorer of the game with 20 points, Caden McGillis from the McBain Ramblers.
Easy call. Although I will say the Rangers had a couple of nominees themselves without question, as they did a great job. 3 players in double figures, but Caden McGillis, 15 first half points and 20 for the game, leads the way for the Ramblers. Is your Hawkeye Player of the Game, presented by L&J Meat Market. Congratulations to Caden. Make sure you stop by Senior's office and pick up your Culver's gift certificate. Yeah, it's a free basket I feel like that's from Culver's. It's an actual prize now that he hands out to these kids.
I feel like a secret's been revealed.
Well,
it used to be an eraser cap, right?
Yeah, I don't know what the heck it used to be before, but no, it's a real thing now, which is just crazy,
wow.
Right? Yeah. 59-46, your final. Congratulations to the Rangers, and best of luck next week as they take on Pine River. Well, best of luck to the Bucks to see if they can't spoil things and give the Ramblers a joint Highland Conference title. But Manton now with control and with their destiny in their hands will try to lock up that outright title next week against the Bucks. That's going to do it for us from Manton. For our producer and engineer, Abby Danforth, for Lars Ferdine, I'm Jay Simon. Again, thank you so much for joining us tonight. We'll be back on the air Tuesday night from McBain as the Ramblers play host to the Big Rapids Cardinals in a non-conference boys basketball game. Busy week. We'll also have the Ramblers and the Lake City Trojans in girls district semifinal basketball action on Wednesday night. Make sure you tune in for both of those. And I got to mention as well, next week, Friday, the Ramblers will take on the Cadillac Vikings. Is it Thursday or Friday? Thursday? I think it's Thursday.
I feel like Thursday.
We'll take on the Cadillac Vikings, and you can hear Bill and Todd with that call over on our sister station, 107.1 The Drive. I'm turning into Bill with the lengthy, post-game close. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, we got just a non-sponsor thing here. Tomorrow night's the Ramblin' Man.
Yes, thank you.
And we have 10 contestants that are going to compete for. It would have been called Mr. McBain, but Gary gave that to somebody else. So it's called the Ramblin' Man, and they're going to compete for votes, and you can buy votes for your favorite contestant, and it all goes for the after prom activities to keep our kids safe.
That's
if you have
fantastic.
Nothing going on tomorrow night, come on out to the McBain Ellenboss Auditorium and have a good time. Gary and I are actually emceeing that, so
that's great.
That should be a riot right there.
That's great stuff. Yeah. If nothing else, come for the Vanna-isms. That's going to do it for us. Thanks for joining us, folks. We'll see you next week on Tuesday night, right here on your home for Rambler Athletics, 107.9 CDY.
This broadcast of McBain Rambler Sports on 107.9 CDY has been sponsored by McBain and LC Family Pharmacy, Forefront Credit Union, Burkholder Family Funeral Home, Wexford Misaki Career Technical Center, McBain Auto Service, L&J Meat Market.